So in this video, we're going to answer the question of when we're going to see the true bull run. Let's get to it. There we go. So I'm going to start with Cheekycryptouk website and do a little bit of a plug. You should become a member. You should definitely go away and do that. You get alerts, so all our buys, our sells, and all that sort of stuff. On-chain data, trade insight or trader insights, education, and you can ask for technical analysis on request as well. So go check that out. But we'll start here. BlackRock, Fidelity, Bitcoin ETFs already ahead of basically Grayscale's Bitcoin ETF. I think this is really interesting. We've seen about $7.7 billion worth of Bitcoin locked up in the all the different Bitcoin spot ETFs that are happening out of the US. And I think that people need to just digest that. It's not your keys, not your crypto kind of phrase. It's very much the same with BlackRock and all of these Bitcoin spot ETFs. You might own a share of it, but you don't actually own the Bitcoin. I just want to put that out there. But it is great to see the Bitcoin spot ETFs locking up so much Bitcoin, and BlackRock, already becoming one of the biggest Bitcoin holders on the planet. It was interesting to also see MicroStrategy purchase, I think it was another $34 or $37 million worth of Bitcoin, taking their holdings up to around 190,000 Bitcoin. I talked about this on one of the videos the other day. These big whales are, I say whales, big institutions, whales, these big, entities, they are purchasing up, mass amounts of Bitcoin now. So anybody that is actually looking at this market, and perhaps you are big money, perhaps you do run a company. I know we're on LinkedIn, but let's say you run a company and you're not wanting to keep all of your money in fiat, for example, or you want to diversify your holdings for your treasury and stuff like that. Companies are going to start going through these spot Bitcoin ETFs to allocate to Bitcoin. It might be better positioned to actually go direct into the crypto assets, but obviously you need to know what you're doing, in my opinion. Just talking, I guess, a little bit about the prices of Bitcoin. Lots of people saying we're not going down to 30K. Did you know that 78% of crypto I guess investors, it says industry experts here, but investors, I don't really like to use the term experts too much and too broadly in this space, because there's a lot of people faking it till they make it, or making it and then faking it, either or. But what I would say, 78% of people in crypto, in a, I guess, working capacity in crypto, all believe that we're going to see a new all-time high within 12 months. And yeah, I don't know if they're smoking something or whether they're bang on with that. I mean, I think most of the analysts are saying the end of 2024, but for me, it all hinges on the Fed pivot and when that happens. If it happens earlier, like we're starting to believe that it could do, and not Q3, then yeah, I kind of think we'll see a new all-time high by the end of the year. Failing that, if it is in Q3 as we forecast over a year ago, then I think we're going to see it probably mid 2025. But yeah, it's interesting to see these pieces of data. It gives us a bit of an idea as to where we're going, where we're heading. Because a lot of people will just follow these individuals blindly, believing that we're going to get that $2 million Bitcoin that I think ARK Invest were talking about. They were definitely smoking something when they said that 2025 $2 million Bitcoin. This is coming from a from Cathy Wood, and for anybody that doesn't understand, like, my perception on these fund managers and these big companies at the moment, if we take Cathy Wood as an example, when she's worked historically through her career as a fund manager at different firms, she hasn't actually performed very well. So I don't understand how she's gone from not performing very well at a job to starting her own firm and being somebody that's you know, looked upon as an expert in this space. I don't think she's actually potentially got a return of over like 1% or something. Like it was ridiculously low. So yeah, really interesting stuff. I think Nick, you've taken my screen away.
I did take your screen away just because you were talking about like, you know, $2 million Bitcoin. I did a video on this the other day, how we see diminishing gains over time. And if you just simply follow the logic of the fact that it requires so significantly more money now to kind of go into BTC to kind of move up, and we talk about, when I spoke a lot about elasticity in that video, it's a subject that I think many people need to kind of do a little bit more research in, understanding elasticity, understanding supply demand, and ultimately here we can see we're going to be targeting out that yellow box area. And realistically, 110K is where we're going to top out. Now, that's still pretty significant, but it isn't going to be making, you know, $2 million Bitcoin overnight or anything like that. If Bitcoin is able to kind of create a $2 million scenario where $2 million per BTC, then unfortunately, the majority of the supply can. There's actually two different ways that this can happen, right? One, you create hyperinflation and the dollar's worth absolutely nothing. And therefore, yeah, $2 million is basically the equivalent of 45K today. Or alternatively, the supply, the majority of the Bitcoin supply is held by just one or two entities, just like diamonds, control the supply. And then bam, you'll end up with that recipe. Now, it's possible that with all of these ETFs and you're having just a handful of operators, we end up with a recreation of the diamond industry within BTC. They control the supply, therefore they can dictate the price. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all kind of plays out. But as I see it here, we kind of have limited growth, but we'll see how it kind of plays out over the next decade or so. I still have concerns over the future of BTC personally with the proof of work model. But Chris, I'll give you a screen back. There you go.
Before you do it though, do you know what the market cap would be?
Yeah, exactly.
No jokes here. You would literally be looking at a near 40 trillion market cap for Bitcoin should we see Bitcoin at $2 million. Now, market cap is market cap. We might as well get this in here. It's the first live. Market cap literally means nothing. It's a simple calculation for anyone that doesn't understand. Circulating supply, current price, market cap. But with the world so focused on market cap, for some reason, I'm not going to get into it. Market cap is market cap. It's a question that's going to come up. I'm just putting the answer out there. It's nearly 40 trillion market cap Bitcoin would have should we see it go to 2 million per BTC. Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks for that, JB. I thought this was a really interesting article, and I think that it's definitely worth talking about because, you know, since we started this channel, one of the first things that we talked about was everything being tokenized, and it's something that we've seen BlackRock still as you know, one of our lines. They're now coming out saying
zero, Chris. It's just like layer zero. It's all I know.
Yeah, for anybody that doesn't know, we made up layer zero. That isn't an actual thing. We just made that up. Obviously, really early on. But look, what I would say is, you know, our term of you know, everything will be tokenized has been robbed by BlackRock. They're now saying it, shouting it from the rooftops. But this does eat into it quite nicely. This is Coinbase talking about the potential savings of $74 billion utilizing basically blockchain, talking about, you know, how the blockchain can, I guess, improve finance as we know it, making it fairer, cheaper, and easier to use. And I do think that the easier to use is an aspect of things that still isn't where we need, like, we're not where we need to be just yet, but we are getting there. But yeah, look, improvement consumers want cheaper transactions. 71% of people want cheaper transactions. This is like for cross-border payments where, you know,
is that 71% of people using Ethereum?
Well, maybe. I did have to wait a long time for my Ethereum transaction the other day. But look, cheaper transactions, what is it? 25, 30 quid to basically move money from one country to another. It's still way too expensive.
I think I paid 150 the other week, Chris.
Yeah, you did.
160, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so for businesses moving money, 150 quid. So that we paid recently for moving 25k, something like that. Wasn't a great deal of money, but yeah, still 150 quid to move 25k's. It's not really the best, is it? When you could do it on the blockchain far cheaper. Faster transactions, 70% of people wanted it faster. We know this. You can transfer internationally, it take a week. Things are improving.
Text them.
Yeah, you want to use Tectum. Definitely. And better access, 63%. Now, better access is a really interesting one because it's great. Like for the vast majority of people that are probably watching this stream, we all understand, I guess, access to banking and stuff like that, but we all take it a little bit for granted. I feel there's a lot of people that don't have access to the internet. There's still a lot of people in the world that don't have access to banks and finance, capital to be able to start their own businesses. I'm not even just talking about like parts of Africa, even in the US, right? And this will surprise some people, not everybody, but some people. There's pockets of people in the US that don't have access to the internet, don't have access to banking. So access is actually, quite significant, but it probably isn't the first thing that comes to our minds, here in the West, that the vast majority of us have got access to banking and finance in that way. So there's a lot that blockchain can do for businesses and individuals that are perhaps outside of the current systems that are here in the West, and we're very fortunate, I feel. Moving on to the final thing that I wanted to sort of cover off, mainly because the other one that I was going to talk about has happened in a preparation for this. We reached 45k, so I won't talk about it. We've done it. The average crypto investor realized less than $1,000 of gains in 2023. And I think that a lot of this, in my opinion, and it'd be interesting to gauge your guys' thoughts and opinions. A lot of the reason for this is because people follow others blindly and don't actually do the research themselves, or they don't follow people blindly, but before FOMOing into what they're talking about, they don't, do some self-education on the actual project themselves. So I think there's lots of learnings that people need to make when it comes to crypto. I think the biggest learning is to immerse yourself in a fantastic community. Check out our Discord, have more meaningful conversations with us, our team, the community, and learn from mistakes that others have made. I think this is like the biggest piece of alpha that anybody will tell you in crypto. If you can immerse yourself in a fantastic community of like-minded individuals that all want to strive to be successful in, whether it's crypto investing, whether it's, your favorite sport, whatever it might be, immerse yourself in a community of people that are passionate about succeeding in that sector. I think that will give you a big head start on everybody else. And obviously we run a free Discord, over 7,000 active people in there where you can, chat, ask questions. And again, there's lots of scammers in crypto and blockchain, just as there is in traditional finance. So if something seems too good to be true, I would much rather that you don't lose your money. I'd rather you come and bother me in the Discord and ask my opinion personally, or Nick's, or JB's, or our team, or the community, whether this is a scam or not, because I would rather take the time out of my day to make sure that you are safe in this space, because I really do believe that people that lose money in crypto, they leave crypto, they talk ill of crypto, and they never come back to crypto. And that is not good for adoption. It's not good for my investments. It's not good for your investments. So we should all actively support one another to be successful. That's my thoughts. Peace. I'm out. So do let us know your thoughts on this type of video content. Was it enjoyable? Do you want to see more videos like this? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Mash up the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will catch you in the video tomorrow.